Hello and welcome to the absolute finals of the Putt Putt Golf National Open Putting Championship. I'm Paul Edge and I'm here with Billy Packer, and we are excited. This is going to be good.
Well, it ought to be, Paul. Although these two fellas that are in the finals were seeded 3 and 4 coming in here, they have really been blazing with those putters. And as a matter of fact, I think we've got the 2 hottest guys in the world right now.
Without a doubt, that is definitely true. And if we go over the 8 players that we have seen here during this tournament, we've seen some interesting things, some unique things. Our number 1 seed, Mark Portugal, 2-time TV Series champion, was knocked out by John Bambling. Then we had Chris Enders and John Ventura. Chris has been firing up the course. He knocked out Cincinnati's Ventura. You had Dean Dwiggins, our I believe he was number 2.
Number 2 seed.
Was beaten by a soft-spoken man from Alabama, Steve Bailey. And then we had Alan Quinley, in his day, an outstanding amateur, and he was playing against our first ever amateur in the TV Series, Scott Anderson. But Alan went on. Then we saw Chris Enders continuing to blaze. He just smoked, went past John Bambling. Then we got down to Alan Quinley and Steve Bailey, and Alan proved why he's here, and he's gone on, and it's going to be Chris and Alan in the finals for $16,000.
$16,000 to the winner, and the loser obviously gets $3,500, so not a bad payday looking at it either way.
Not at all.
2 outstanding players. We take a look at them right now, guys that I'm sure everybody knows throughout the course of this series. We've got out here Chris Enders, 28 years of age. He's a fellow's a real estate appraiser and a broker. He's won over $15,000 overall. A great player from the West. He's been a king out there in Oklahoma and Texas throughout his career. Very good player, and he hasn't even played 17 or 18 throughout this series because he's just been blazing things with aces. And Alan Quinley, outstanding player from Chamblee, Georgia, 22 years of age, has over $10,000 in money winnings. He was the JPA National Junior Champion back in 1978. Has over 300 championships throughout his career. 2 of the very best players, very experienced. They know what it takes to win a championship. This is the first time, however, they've had a chance to win the TV series. So we'll take a look at both of these golfers when we come back right after these important messages.
We're on our marks, we're ready, and I know they're set to go out on hole number 1 with Billy Kirby, who's our tournament marshal. And you see the redhead is Alan Quinley, and Chris Enders in the blue, the light blue I should say. And before they, or as they tee up, let's see what they had to say about being here.
Well, it's a great honor and a great privilege to be here. It's something I've always dreamed about ever since I was about 13 years old, started playing putt-putt, and to actually be here now, I just hope to do my very best at it.
Well, I've been trying to get on the TV series now for 5 years, and since it's my first time being on the National TV Open Championship, it's just an unreal feeling, and I'm going to give everything I have to it since it's my first time and hopefully not my last.
Well, these are 2 very young men. Without a doubt, it doesn't have to be their last.
Well, you can see for Chris, he talks about 15 years he's waited for this opportunity. And throughout that time, he was winning an awful lot of championships. So you can see how difficult it is to work your way even onto the TV series, much less to the finals. Alan didn't get the shot that he wanted there at all. And, of course, as we said coming in here and said last week at the conclusion of our show, Chris Enders has been the man that's actually burned up the field so far.
You know, Chris is literally just happy to be here. He's somewhat of a miracle man. He won't bring it up, but he talks about it with a smile. 8 years ago, Chris was diagnosed as having leukemia, and at one point they didn't think he would make it through the night. But he's come back in all aspects of his life, and he tackles everything with gusto.
He has a great personality. Both of these players are not only exhibit great skill in their ability in putt-putt, but also a tremendous sportsmanship qualities.
Come on, baby. Keep your head up.
It's a little slow there.
It is slow. He may get enough. Oh.
I think he was blowing on that one.
Very smooth. Sometimes when you don't have enough speed, obviously, and you're on the carpet will just take that ball away from the hole at the very end. Number 3, a little drop off here. Chris finds himself 1 up.
Well, the carpets are in a condition that the players like. They're dry. And
3 straight aces. He knows nothing else.
Think he'll get to see 18 eventually?
Well, I don't know. He was 9 under and won in 15 holes in his first match, 11 under in 16 holes, won his second match, and he just was blazing there. 12 aces out of the last 13 holes he played in his second match. And, you know, Alan has to be aware of that, and Alan not putting real well right now. He's down 2. right at the start. And boy, when you get up against a fellow that's been as hot as Chris has, it's very difficult. And here we have our first obstacle hole. We've said it before that most cases where the obstacle comes into play, the hole's a little shorter, somewhere between 10 and 15 feet. The straight-in holes are usually somewhere around 24, 25 feet. And, well, at least we see that he's human.
Yes.
First par. Par is 2 on every putt-putt hole. Little opening here, and very important now for Alan to go ahead and lay an ace on him.
No doubt Alan will do his best to take advantage of this. Alan, a veteran, though only 22 years old, and JPA national champion.
Be sweet. Hurry, hurry.
Be sweet. You can hear our players are mic'd up, so we'll hear their impressions as they go along.
You know, it's interesting to hear the cliches in any sport, but I've noticed that one of the popular ones with the PPA is telling that ball to be sweet to him.
I mentioned sportsmanship awards. Alan was the APA Sportsman Award of the 1980.
The two very personable young men.
Crouches over, looked to hit it off that back rail and get it in. Oh, he thought he had that.
Once again, that speed just did not seem to be there, and I'm wondering if you might have noticed when it was going up that slant, it seemed to start dropping back down.
Well, I think that he played that shot just exactly the way he wanted to. He just had a little bit too much speed. So he had his spot in good shape. Hits it off the rail. See the little incline in which the ball is set.
You see Joel Baker that was in the crowd there. He was last year's TV champion.
Joel was kidding me before the match that I told you number 6 was a tough hole to play, and
Because I can hit it.
Yep. You see now what happens sometimes, and I think we're finding a little difference in regard to the weather being a little cooler here than it has been.
I think so.
And things aren't coming off the rail as anticipated. You heard that Chris said right there, that's as good as I can hit it, and yet it was by the hole considerably. And so Alan and Chris both had their spots exactly where they wanted them, but it came off a little too quick. And here we have the pipe hole, shortest hole on the course, just a little bank off the left board.
And I believe this is one Joel had problems with last year. But he got past those and went on to win.
Well, Joel may have had problems, but we haven't seen either of these fellas have many problems on number 6.
Not at all. And you did mention the weather. You can hear the wind seems to be picking up from time to time, and I'm sure that can influence their play.
Well, that's a nice looking stroke there. Nice looking stroke. Boy, so square. Alan's got the honors, finds himself 1 down, still staying in here. Right now, Chris 4 under, Alan 3 under.
This is hole number 7, about 24 feet in length.
Considered about the second most difficult hole on the front side. Straight. Coming down through the swale. It's the trough hole. The swales on both the right and the left-hand side just kind of control the ball as it goes down towards the cup.
Did make a beeline.
He's got it.
Alan was there to see it.
See some of the gallery trying to pull him away so that he wouldn't be in the way of watching that drop in. But, you know, you could almost close your eyes and tell from the gallery response that that was another ace.
And again, this one doesn't look like it is a direct shot, but it is. You don't want to bounce it off of anything. This is literally a front door type of hole.
That's too close.
Ooh.
Now you see the obstacle there. This makes this very, very difficult. The obstacle, a little triangle, and then a rectangular block. The object for just about all of the key players is to go right as close as you can to that rectangular block, and that usually brings it right into the hole. But now we have a shot here for Alan that is one that I'm sure he has never practiced. So this becomes difficult. He's trying to figure out where he wants to play it.
If you're going to deuce this putt, you want to have gotten past the obstacle and perhaps bank it off a rail somewhere. But when you have to go around that obstacle again from an entirely different angle, it's a new ball game.
I think we'll see a double bank right here, off one rail, then off the back rail, and try to go in. This could be a great shot.
Great.
Super 2. Super 2. Yeah, Alan doesn't want that shot again. I mean, he had to make that adjustment because it's not a shot you'd practice.
And a lot of these players are accustomed to acing these holes as often as they can, and when it's a deuce, it's often an unpracticed shot.
Well, there you have Chris, who just now has got 3 aces in a row, 6 aces all told in 8 holes, so he has not let up at all, and this is the way he's been playing throughout the course of this tournament. Regains the honors, 2 up, going into 9.
Both of these players want to bank off the right rail.
Slight undulation right there in the front, and then the little rocking motion that we see. This ball going to come back down. He's got it.
Gentle rocking motion there.
7 under par on the front side. He is just playing super. It just goes to show, you know, 20,000 people start out trying to get in on the TV series. It's so difficult to get down to the 8. And when you look over Chris's record over the years, you just wonder, it's almost inconceivable that he never made the TV series before. Nice job there by Allen. Finds himself in a situation where he's 2 downs, played very well. He's 5 under par. But we see Chris Enders again tearing up the course, 7 under par, and still leading right here. And we're going to be back to take a look at these fellas on the backside right after this important message.
9 down, only 9 more to go, and I'm willing to bet we may not even see all 9 of those. But to get an idea of if we're going to see those 9, we're going to go out to Billy Kirby, who's our tournament marshal, and he's also out there with our 2 putters. Billy?
Chris, you're 2 up. Having played in this championship, I want to ask you a question. You're playing for $16,000. You're also playing for a national title. Tell me about playing. Is it the money or is it the title?
Title. It's the title. The money's great, but it's the title that really matters.
Well, you played a man that's won some titles, a JPA champion, a national champion in 1985. Alan, how about you? Is it another title? Another title at stake?
Yeah, like you said, the money, you know, that's an added benefit, but you're really out here to get that title in your back pocket.
Okay, we'll let you get to the 10th tee, and we'll find out if Alan wins another title or Chris takes his first.
We really get in a pivotal situation here now with Chris having those honors, 2 up. Allen has got to make a breakthrough here in the first 2 or 3 holes on the backside. Little double ridge hole. He's got his first break. There is an opening here by Chris. Remember, in Chris's last match, he was able to close out his opponent by having 7 straight aces on the backside, so that breaks that string.
That's not pulled it.
But you never can tell. By the next hole, he may start that string on 11.
You see Allen hitch up his pants there. He's got Arnold Palmer's putting style, and now he's hitching up the pants. He putts a lot better than Palmer, though, at least on this surface.
Some of these putters are golfers.
Stay straight, stay straight.
He's got it. Now there's that breakthrough he was looking for. He finds himself 1 down. He's 6 under par. Chris is 7 under par. It's interesting, Allen's first test on into putt-putt golf was Roger Moore. Gave him a putter and introduced him to the game. Roger, of course, a great player in his own right over the course of years. Allen has stayed right with it. Talked about his association.
Front.
Running
in the same courses with Dick and Evelyn Florence, so he's had some real good tutors over the time.
Now, a lot of people do play this, try to take it in the front of the hole, but we have seen them bank it off the back. Either way, you don't want to hit that obstacle.
I don't know if he's got that. Oh, what a big break. A big break. We had an opportunity for this match to be all evened up.
He was leaning in the right direction.
I guarantee you. And Allen's starting to really lock in this concentration here. What a great stroke. If you look at his putter handle, it's actually worn out to the point where his fingers have created grooves in the putting handle. And he said it just feels comfortable. He has no reason to put it on. There, he got a little bit of break. Allen finding himself starting out the back 9 with 3 straight aces, and he ended up with 3 out of the last 4 holes on the front side. So he is now 6 out of the last 7 holes. He's throwing aces at Chris.
They're making some spinning moves into the hole. I'm sure they just as soon it dropped quickly, though, no doubt.
And Chris starting to feel a little pressure. He has been so strong on the backside.
You think if that ball was going a little slower, it might have dropped.
I think